नहमदहु व नुसल्ली अला रसूलिहिल करीम. In today's era of modern science, human beings are suffering from many physical and mental illness. At least 90% of all diseases that are related to the body or mind are due to stress. You can find these statistics very easily on the internet. According to one research in America, 83% of the people die due to wrong lifestyle, and the age of these people is between 21 to 65, which is an indication of a serious problem. Louise Hay talks about emotions in her book You Can Heal Your Life. She offers a deep view of the relationship between mind and the body. She tells us that all our diseases are related to our emotions. All the emotions we feel affect our mind, and our mind affects those emotions. Emotions are related to our thoughts, and our thoughts are related to our mind. When these feelings are disturbed, different diseases arise. This means the mind, thoughts, and emotions are interconnected with each other. We cannot work on the mind, but we can work on the thoughts so that emotions are controlled, and it will automatically eradicate all diseases. In one research conducted by the University of California, Berkeley, 27 different types of feelings are identified. But there are five basic emotions: happiness, sadness, fear, anger, and disgust. If one can control these five basic emotions, then many problems related to health are resolved. Let us understand these emotions one by one and their relation to the mind according to science. The first emotion is happiness. The emotions like feeling of joy, satisfaction, contentment, and fulfillment felt in the state of health are called happiness. According to science, we feel pleasure in our body due to the release of two types of neurotransmitters, dopamine and serotonin. In the brain, both these chemicals have a deep relationship with happiness. Dopamine controls mood and muscle movement. This is the reason why we feel happy even after having a good conversation. Females will understand this better. Unlike dopamine, the body stores most of the serotonin in the gut instead of the brain. Serotonin helps control mood, body temperature, and appetite. That's why we feel happy even after having good food. Now it is clear that our mind controls our happiness, but the mind is controlled by the thoughts. So to be happy, we need to work on our thoughts. Now let's see the second emotion, which is sadness. Now we know that we feel happy because of dopamine and serotonin. When the amount of dopamine or serotonin decreases, we feel sad. Sadness and happiness are opponents of each other. They cannot stay together. Dopamine deficiency can cause many diseases such as Parkinson's disease, means trembling of limbs due to weakening of the muscles. Second, depression. Third, schizophrenia. Fourth, hallucinations. Although dopamine alone cannot cause depression, which is one of the major problem in today's time. Lack of dopamine can have specific effects associated with depression, as number one, lack of motivation, lack of concentration, feeling of hopelessness and helplessness, loss of interest in earlier recreational activities. This shows that a drop in dopamine is not at all good for health. Now, many times people artificially increase the amount of dopamine or serotonin with some kind of food or medicine so that they keep feeling happy. Then keep in mind that you can also get fatal diseases due to that. This simply means that having both less or more is harmful. Then how to produce dopamine or serotonin in the proper amount in the body so that there is no more or less and there is no lack of happiness? Watch till the end to get the answers of this question. Let's take a simple example for my layman brothers and sister whose science is not good. Suppose you work somewhere. You will not feel happy if your boss is praising someone else's work. Yes, it is possible that you may be saddened to hear someone else praise, or you might be neutral. When the same boss praises your work, then you become happy. Here, the words and reasons for the compliment were the same, but first you were not happy, and the second time you were happy. When you hear compliments others, it doesn't have a positive effect on your thinking, and dopamine or serotonin doesn't work. When you hear yourself praised, it has a positive effect on your thinking, and dopamine or serotonin is released and you feel happy. The third emotion is fear. Fear warns us of danger or harm from danger, whether the threat is physical or mental. Sometimes fear stems from real dangers, but it can also arise from imaginary dangers. For example, a lion chasing in a dream. Our brain does not understand the difference between real, fake, and imaginary and starts working to deal with fear. Fear can also be a symptoms of certain mental illness conditions like in panic disorders, social anxiety disorder, phobias, and post-traumatic stress disorder, which is also termed as PTSD. The brain works in two ways to deal with the fear. One is biochemical and the second one is emotional reactions. Let's understand the biochemical reaction. This physical reaction is also known as fight or flight reaction, which means your body prepares itself to enter or run away from the war. It is a spontaneous reaction that is vital to our existence. The parts of brain like thalamus, prefrontal cortex, hippocampus, then hypothalamus, uh, periaqueductal gray, amygdala, they start working in fear. These parts produce chemicals like adrenaline, noradrenaline, and cortisol in our body. Due to this, our heartbeat increases, blood pressure increases, breathing becomes faster, and blood sugar also rises. They all together help us to fight or flight from a situation. Now, let's say emotional reaction. On the other hand, the emotional response to fear is very personal because see, fear involves some of the same chemicals reactions in our brains that cause positive emotions like happiness and excitement. Feeling fear can be seen as fun in some situations, such as when you watch horror movies. Some people are adrenaline seekers, such as people who participate in high risk and scary sports. Some people have a negative reaction to the feeling of fear, avoiding situations that create fear at all cost. For example, people who are afraid of heights prefer not to even use elevators. Keep in mind that when you are afraid, all the chemicals mentioned earlier start working in your body. But even if for some reason the fear ends, Those chemicals can remain in your body for many hours and you can feel unnecessary fear. Being scared all the time is not good for your health. Here, too, we have seen that fear is also related to our thinking, and constant fear can cause a lot of damage to our body. Is it possible to control fear? Yes, it is possible, and it can be done by correcting our thoughts. And we will learn this in the end. The fourth basic emotion is anger. Anger is an intense emotion that you feel when something has gone wrong or someone has done wrong to you. Anger can be a good thing. It can be a way to express negative feelings to others or motivate you to find solutions to problems. But too much anger can cause trouble. When you are angry, your muscles begins to tighten and your brain releases neurotransmitter chemicals known as catecholamines, which gives you a feeling of energy lasting several minutes. At the same time, your heart beats faster, your blood pressure rises, and your breathing becomes faster. Your concentration shrinks and remains only on anger. The brain is constantly releasing neurotransmitter and hormones like adrenaline and noradrenaline. Now you are ready to fight. If the danger is averted for some reason, then we start going back to the state of rest. However, it is difficult to relax from a state of anger because of adrenaline that is released during anger. The excitement lasts for a very long time, several hours, sometimes days, making it easy for us to get angry again later. Although we become calm, it takes a long time for us to return to our resting state. Because of this, for a long time, we get very angry even at small things which never bother us earlier. The excitement in a limit helps the mind to increase memory and concentration. The excitement in anger becomes more than the limit, which does not allow us to remember anything. That's why when we get angry, we do not remember anything later, like what did we say during anger, etc. Let's have one more practical example. Imagine with if one person is abusing other on the road, then those words do not hurt us. But when someone abuses us, then we become red with anger. The words were the same, which were said for the others, and the same were said for us. Then why this difference? When abuse is given to another, it has no negative effect on your thinking. Whereas if you are abused, it has a negative effect on your thinking. From this, it became understood that thinking controls anger. Now, you might be thinking to control anger by controlling your thoughts. That's right. We will work on this after some time. The last basic emotion is disgust, a strong feeling of disapproval or dislike, or the feeling of being ill because of something you don't like. Disgust is related to your dislikes, which are expressed by smell, touch, or sight. Those who do not like the sound may also suffer from the recitation of the Holy Quran. And this may be wrong for some other person who does not know about disgust. You will always love someone while someone else will hate him or her. The insula or the insular cortex is the neural structure involved in the feeling of disgust. A lot of research has shown that insula is responsible for the feeling of disgust in both humans and macaque monkeys. The insula is activated by unpleasant taste, smells, and visual recognition of disgust in conspecific organisms. This is purely related to our thinking. Sometimes disgust can be natural and cannot be treated. For example, we don't have a single reason why we hate someone, and it's very natural. This tendency can be lowered, which we will learn. The emotions that we have understood now, you must have seen that all of them are activated in the mind. Science has helped us a lot in understanding them, but science cannot give any permanent cure for the diseases caused by the disturbances of these emotions, because science cannot change our thoughts. And here there is a need of Sufism, that is spirituality. So, my dear friends, what is Sufism? Sufism is the name of purifying thoughts. If your thoughts are pious, then your emotions will also become pious. Pious thoughts create positive energy, and it will affect the body and aura. People close to such a person always feel positive. Sufism makes your thinking pious. Once the thinking become pious, then all your emotions will be balanced, and you will be free from not only physical but also spiritual diseases. Let's ponder different methods to purify your thoughts. The first method is pious intent. The first method is pious intent. This is one of the hadiths from Sahih Bukhari, hadith number 1. Narrated Umar bin al-Khattab, I heard Allah's apostle saying, the reward of deed depends upon the intentions, and every person will get the reward according to what he has intended. So whoever immigrated for worldly benefit or for a woman to marry, his immigration was for what he immigrated for. So friends, look into this, especially this line of hadith. The reward of deeds depends upon the intentions, and every person will get the reward according to what he has intended. From this hadith, we can say that intentions hold high value, right? In Islam, is it compulsory? It is compulsory to intend before prayers, fast, etc. Even the difference between the five prayers can be told only by intention. Deciding to do something is called intention, and declaration of your thoughts with the tongue makes it authentic. Let me repeat it again, my friends. Deciding to do something is called intention, and declaration of your thoughts with the tongue makes it authentic. Pious intention will affect your thoughts, and your thoughts will affect your emotions. So always have good intentions. Correct? The second way is gratitude. Surah Al-Araf, ayat number 17. It says that, then I will come to them from before them and from behind them and on their right and on their left, and you will not find most of them grateful to you. This is the conversation between Allah and Iblis. From the above verse, we can conclude that one who is not grateful is under the control of Iblis. One more ayah, Surah Ibrahim, ayah number 7. And remember when your Lord proclaimed, if you are grateful, I will certainly give you more. But if you are ungrateful, surely my punishment is severe. In the above verse, Allah had promised to give more. If you are grateful, what will be given more? The answer is simple. Anything for which we are thankful. For example, if we are thankful for good health, then will be awarded more good health. And if we are grateful for wealth, then we will be awarded more wealth. Try to be more thankful for everything so that more positivity will come in return to heal us from within. The third way is companionship. Yak zamana sohbate ba auliya behtar az sad sala tate beriya. A few moments of company with the wali of Allah are better than 100 years of worship without pretense. Be in the companionship of your Piro Murshid. The attention of Piro Murshid will bring big changes in you. The attention of Piro Murshid means his divine energy, which will affect you positively. I am grateful to my Piro Murshid for allowing me to be in his company and showering his special attention on me. The fourth way is Zikre Ruhi. Zikre Ruhi is very sacred and special zikr given in the Qadri Silsila. Zikre Ruhi creates positive energy and purifies your thoughts. If there is dirty water in a bucket, then you can clean that water in two ways. First, you can throw water from the bucket and fill it with the fresh water. Second, if you keep filling fresh water in it continuously, gradually the dirty water will decrease and the fresh water will increase. After some time, there will be only fresh water in the bucket. Zikre Ruhi works in the same way and goes on purifying your thoughts. If you did not get Zikre Ruhi, then request to your Piro Murshid and get it immediately. You will feel the difference once you start Zikre Ruhi. Benefits of Zikre Ruhi can be seen in life and the afterlife. I hope you have understood all four methods to purify thoughts, which will automatically make you emotionally balanced and strong. This is all about spiritual healing, so there are no side effects. I would like to end here. Wama alaina illal balagh.